क्या किया वीकेंड पे? हाँ, क्या किया वीकेंड पे भी? अच्छा, और क्या किया? हाँ, पॉलिटी और एनवायरनमेंट। क्या पढ़ा पॉलिटी और एनवायरनमेंट में? And what is the difference between fundamental rights and legal rights? सबको दिया जाता है फंडामेंटल राइट। गुड। अच्छा, एनवायरनमेंट पढ़ा, फिर क्या पढ़ा एनवायरनमेंट में? गिवन बाय फंडामेंटल लॉ ऑफ लैंड। नो विकास, नो नो नो। ठीक है। So constitutional rights are through constitution and legal rights are through some act of parliament. Okay. Okay, fine. और क्या पढ़ा, और क्या पढ़ा, बताओ बताओ। फिलोसफी तो पढ़ी नहीं तुम लोगों ने। मूवी, हाँ, कैसा रहा आंसर राइटिंग सेशन? कैसा रहा? समझ में आ रहा है? थोड़ा लिखने में मजा आया? देखो, आई एम थिंकिंग कि इसको थोड़ा रेगुलर फीचर बनाया जाए, बिकॉज राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस इज वेरी मस्ट, है ना। इफ आई लीव इट टू यू, then of course you will prioritize everything else except answer writing. वो सबसे इजी है, लेकिन प्रैक्टिस कर लो। सबसे इजी है, सबसे इजी आंसर राइटिंग असलियत में। एक बार इफ यू कैन क्रैक द फंडा ऑफ इट, if you can decode how to do it, then the easiest answer writing is for POR and socio-political. Because in paper 1 in Indian Western, you will be required to memorize things. It cannot be worked without memorization. अगर आपको पूरी चीजें नहीं पता है, अगर आपको वो क्लासिफिकेशंस नहीं याद है, how will you write an answer? You will have to learn it, है ना? But the same is not the case with paper 2. In paper 2, your own understanding and your own creativity brings the best answer. तो सोच को बढ़ानी पड़ेगी, है ना? सोच को बढ़ाना पड़ेगा। देखो, आई टेल यू व्हाई बढ़ाना, क्यों बढ़ाना पड़ेगा। तुम लोगों को भी लग रहा होगा कि ऑफिसर बनके तो बड़ी आसानी से काम कर लेंगे, 4 असिस्टेंट मिलेंगे, है ना, 8 क्लर्क मिलेंगे, 3-4 MTS मिल जाएंगे और ये हो जाएगा, वो हो जाएगा, बोलो, है ना, गाड़ी में आएंगे, ऐसा होगा वैसा। जब काम करना पड़ता है और टाइम जो हमारे पास होता है वो बहुत कम होता है। बहुत कम मतलब बहुत, ऐसा बहुत बार होगा कि तुम्हें कोई रिपोर्ट सबमिट करनी है या तुम्हें कुछ भी देना है। सपोजिटली तुम जिस डिपार्टमेंट में पोस्टेड हो, वहां के ही मिनिस्टर ने तुम्हें कॉल करा और तुम्हें बोला या मुझे ना स्पीच लिखनी है अभी, आई हैव टू गो टू दिस UN। क्या कर रहे हो भाई? अच्छा, ठीक। तो उन्होंने कहा कि मुझे UN जाना है, ये चीजें, मुझे स्पीच लिखनी है फटाफट, या फिर ये यहाँ पर ही आने वाले हैं, मुझे बताओ क्या क्या इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स हैं, किन पे बात होनी चाहिए। और आप किसी मिनिस्टर के साथ कहीं पर भी गए हो और वहां पे इमीडिएटली आपको कोई टॉकिंग पॉइंट्स चाहिए। टॉकिंग पॉइंट्स मतलब ऑन विच टॉपिक्स द मिनिस्टर और द योर बॉस विल टॉक। तो उस वक्त पे क्या बोलोगे? लेट मी सर्च द इंटरनेट। विल यू डू दैट? कैन यू पुट द नॉलेज ऑफ इंटरनेट ऑन टू द पेपर? बुक्स तुम्हारे पास है नहीं। अब तुमने बोला क्लर्क को बोल सकते हो जाओ बेटा मिनिस्टर के टॉकिंग पॉइंट्स लिख लाओ, नहीं। हु विल हैव टू राइट इट? You yourself will have to write it, and time is 10 minutes only. 10 minutes में तुम्हें लिख कर भी देने हैं और उसमें गलती भी नहीं होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि You understand? So this means at that time, what will come to your mind is whatever you know and you can create out of your knowledge. It's not just about कि तुम उसमें तुमने ऐसे जो भी पॉइंट्स लिख सकते हो, वो तुम्हारी वही क्रिएटिविटी है, वही तुम्हारी नॉलेज है. हाउ वुड यू प्रेजेंट योर पॉइंट्स, है ना. जैसे कि जब नेगोशिएशंस होते हैं तो बहुत दिमाग लगा के आर्ग्यूमेंट स्ट्रक्चर करे जाते हैं, और ये तुम लोग करोगे. हम लोगों ने किया है वहां पे, ऐसे ऐसे आर्ग्यूमेंट स्ट्रक्चर होने चाहिए. जैसे तुम किसी कंट्री से बात करो, किसी कंट्री के डेलीगेट से बात कर रहे हो, है ना. उसने तुम्हें कहा कि कोई सा भी ले लो, चलो सपोजिटली, है ना. चलो यूएस का एक व्यक्ति आया, उसने कहा नहीं तुम रशिया से ऑयल नहीं ले सकते, यू कैन नॉट टेक रशियन ऑयल, वी विल बैन यू, वी विल पुट सैंक्शंस, है ना. तो तुम्हारा रिस्पॉन्स क्या होना चाहिए बताओ. हाँ बिल्कुल ऐसा नहीं बोलना. अब बताओ, हाँ बताओ, तुम लोग पढ़ते हो ना करंट अफेयर्स. हाँ टेल मी व्हाट शुड बी योर नेक्स्ट लाइन ऑफ आर्गुमेंट. वैसे हम ये सब क्यों कर रहे हैं, लेकिन स्टिल नेशनल इंटरेस्ट. वो कहेगा बट दिस इज नॉट इन ग्लोबल इंटरेस्ट एंड वी विल नॉट गिव यू सम अदर थिंग्स दैट आर देयर. हम तुम्हारे को WTO में काउंटर कर देंगे, हम तुम्हें वहां पे UNSC के अंदर काउंटर कर देंगे. हम चाइनीज जो है, तुमने वही वहां पे वो डाली है ना कि उसको टेररिस्ट घोषित करो, हम वहां से सपोर्ट खींच लेंगे. वो हमारा नेशनल इंटरेस्ट है. यू आर हर्टिंग द US नेशनल इंटरेस्ट आउट ऑफ इंडियन नेशनल इंटरेस्ट. विच नेशनल इंटरेस्ट इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट? वी आर सॉवरेन कंट्री. तो लड़ाई करोगे किससे? US से? चींटी और हाथी की कहानी सुनी है अभी? हाँ, फिर क्या करोगे? एनी अदर आर्ग्यूमेंट? उनका लॉस नहीं, उनका लॉस है. उन्होंने रशिया को बैन किया. क्यों किया? Russian attack on Ukraine. So this means they are taking loss because they cannot get Russian gas and oil. India is taking because we are getting cheaper. अब इसके अंदर लाइन ऑफ आर्ग्यूमेंट, चलो छोड़ो तुम लोग. उसमें लाइन ऑफ आर्ग्यूमेंट्स ऐसी होनी चाहिए. यू विल से बट you also provided weapons to Pakistan when India objected. So it is only a similar case of reciprocation. Similar case of reciprocation means अदला बदला. ठीक है. अब वो बोलेंगे but this hurts our national interest. Sir, definitely, but that also hurted our national interest and sovereignty. So coming to the event, sir, we will import Russian oil, but we will not provide this to Russia. But you shall also provide this to India. That whenever there is a information about any terrorist attack or any person coming to Pakistan with suspicious activity or this and that, you will inform us. अब तुमने जब ये वाला लाइन किया तो तुमने उनको ये भी मनवा लिया कि तुम इंपोर्ट करोगे. तुमने उनसे एक और कंसेशन भी ले लिया और दिया कितना? एक कंसेशन. 2 कंसेशन लेके 1 कंसेशन दिया. नॉट अ बैड डील. लेकिन इसके लिए तुम्हें इमीडिएटली क्या जरूरत पड़ी 10 मिनट में सोचने के लिए? ऑफ कोर्स नॉलेज ऑफ हिस्ट्री, नॉलेज तो चाहिए, नॉलेज के बिना तो कुछ होगा ही नहीं. बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, creativity, developing the arguments in a particular sequence. And this is what answer writing is, paper 2. If you know how to develop your arguments in support or opposing of something, जिस दिन पेपर 2 लिखना आ जाएगा उस दिन ऐसे भी आ जाएगा, एथिक्स भी आ जाएगा, लगभग सारे आंसर राइटिंग आ जाएंगे और उस दिन सिलेक्शन पक्का है. सर ने कैंसिल लिखा था तो उसमें जो बोलते नहीं है कंसेशन वाला Yes, this is how it is. This is how it is. है ना? अच्छा क्या है क्या क्या can counter by asking for oil at discounted rate. Europe takes more gas in one day. The so Rahul M, you are from. So you want everything to be conducted in English. Oh, it's an English batch, but somehow because most of the people are conversant and comfortable in Hindi, sometimes teachers and even I myself, plus even mentors, they sometimes use Hindi. Are you not comfortable in Hindi at all? How many students are not comfortable in Hindi? Online people? Okay. Rahul, I have taken note. I will ask Siddharth to talk to you. Okay? Hindi, English, very sticky topic. Okay. Just take the topic of liberty and start in your copies. In your copies, write what do you understand by liberty? What is your understanding about liberty? Notes. नहीं ये वाला नहीं लिबर्टी के नोट्स नहीं मिले अभी सिद्धार्थ को पूछो आपस में बात करके क्या लिख रहे हो बेटा अपनी अपनी कॉपी में लिखो now divide this into various topics various headings सब माइंड में आपके फॉर्म में बनाना है ना like what is liberty for an individual लिखो बनाओ अपना माइंड मैप. What is liberty in society? What does liberty mean for a nation? Give examples all through. Liberty at global level. हो गया? Now write what does it mean by liberty in society or social liberty. Society लिख लिया हम लोगों ने. Economic liberty. What is economic liberty? Political liberty. Examples लिख लिए? You can think of examples. What is cultural liberty? What kind of cultural liberty can be allowed? Intellectual liberty. You are free to think and write. You are writing now. Whatever you are creating is your own creation. Intellectual liberty. Right? What is intellectual liberty? What do you understand by intellectual liberty? चलो डिस्कस करें अब. हो गया? Need more time? 30 seconds. Okay, chalo. This means whatever your original thoughts are, you have written. Fine. Okay, what is economic liberty? Raise your hand. हाँ, you.
Which a person can pursue their job profiles and how to.
इंटरव्यू प्रिपरेशन के लिए आ जाना. हाँ. Freedom to choose one's occupation. Very good, very right. Plus equal opportunity, है ना? So everyone should have equal opportunity to pursue all professions. So this means there are two things. First is we should be free to choose whatever profession we want, whatever. So if I want to be an astronaut, I should be allowed. If you want to be an actor, if you want to be a saint, if you want to be whatever profession, prime minister, president, whatever profession you want to pursue, you should be allowed. You should be free. Fine. Second, वो अभी क्या बताया था दूसरा? Equal opportunity. Now when we are free, our opportunities should be equal. If somebody has more opportunity than us or any other person, then it is not freedom, because the freedom of other person is hampered. Example. Now, what was the problem when this exam of civil services was held in British times? It was held in London. Not everybody can travel. Was it not a kind of a hindrance in freedom? A person who cannot go, who cannot afford the travel itself, cannot give the exam. क्या problem थी? Opportunity. Not everybody had the opportunity. Equal opportunity. अगर civil services के exam में बोल दे आज से only arts people can apply. Loss of opportunity. Only science people or engineers can apply. Loss of opportunity for others. So there should be equal opportunity. ये दो factors हैं हमारे. मैंने नहीं सोचे, मैंने बताया भी नहीं, आपने बताए. Because it is logical and reasonable. This is what reason guides us. Fine. But the moment we say we are free to choose any profession, so are you free to become smuggler? No. But you are free to choose any profession. Why not smuggler? Illegal, है ना? Why can't you become a terrorist? Unethical and illegal. You say कि I want to pursue a profession of killing. Yes. Hampers others' freedom. The moment you say I will be a smuggler, it hampers the others' freedom of fair trade. Because smuggler is the one who is doing unfair trade. It hampers the freedom of other person to do fair trade. So the basic principle that we arrive at for liberty is that my freedom ends where your nose starts. Where your nose starts. मतलब मैं वहां तक हाथ फैला सकती हूँ, ऐसे 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 कर सकती हूँ कितनी बार भी, जब तक कि खड़े हो, जब तक कि जहां तक नाक है सिर्फ वहां तक. The moment my hand goes beyond, तो क्या होगा? It will be a slap. And here your freedom gets infringed. This means that we are free. ऐसे ऐसे करने के लिए मैं free हूं, लेकिन कब तक? till the time I am not infringing in your domain. Simple. And now this principle will apply for all the cases of liberty. Social, economic, education, किसी पे भी क्वेश्चन आ जाए सब पे यही लॉ लगेगा, एक लॉ सब पे लगेगा, ठीक है. Equal opportunity. When we say people should have equal opportunity, then what steps would have to take to create equal opportunity? इक्वालिटी वाली सारी बातें आ जाएंगी, वही जो हमने इक्वालिटी में सब पढ़ा है वही सब आ जाएगा, ठीक है. लेकिन जैसे ही हमने ये सब चालू किया, हमारा वो वाला डिबेट आ जाएगा दोबारा से, इक्वालिटी एंड फ्रीडम. Thinkers who thought equality is complementary to liberty, and some people will think equality is contradictory to. यहाँ वो वाला डिबेट चालू हो जाएगा. यानी कि ये कौन सी है, ये इक्वालिटी ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी बड़ी फाइन लाइन है. यहाँ गए तो इक्वालिटी खत्म, यहाँ गए तो लिबर्टी खत्म. इफ स्टेट डजंट डू एनीथिंग, जैसे कि मैं यहाँ पे खड़ी हूं और मैं बोलूं मैं किसी को कुछ नहीं कहूंगी, तुम्हें जिसका जो सामान लेना है ले लो. तुम लोग तो सभ्य लोग हो, लेकिन you people are decent enough. You will not take each other's things, but supposedly, huh? मेरे ही आईपैड पे नजर. एथिक्स कहाँ है? हाँ? If you take each other's things, not mine. Okay, Shobha, Meena, right to wage, right to work, right to trade, economic liberty. Yes. But the tone is a little polity tone, है ना? We should not move in our socio-political philosophy to any polity tone. We should try and stick our answers, our own overall understanding with philosophy tone. We are discussing what exactly is liberty. What are the various dimensions of liberty? Do we understand liberty as a whole? Is it like liberty means absolutely free? Then if liberty doesn't mean absolutely free, then what restrictions can we apply? What kind of restrictions? And who can apply restrictions? Should anybody and everybody else be allowed to impose restrictions? This means there should be some institution or some authority which can apply these restrictions. Then on what basis? Should it be arbitrary? It should be reasonable. This is the kind of analysis that we are doing in philosophy. Whereas the same topic, when we study in polity, we study what it is, what is the implementation directly. If the person infringes this law, what will the IPC say? What are the CRPC will say? So that is polity, law. But discussing the overall concept of liberty, what does it mean to us? Philosophy. Simple, same topic, but different orientation. So the moment we say equality, that if I'm the government, right? If government does nothing, then people will be free to do anything. And the more they are free, because of natural tendencies, because of natural difference in their talent and difference in their overall personalities, there will be inequality. हो जाएगी. Natural inequality. And the moment there is inequality, the liberty of those who are not, who could not compete with others will be at risk. How? So, अभी मैंने आप सबको 100 रुपए दिए, है ना? I said each one of you will get 100 rupees. And now you are all free to do whatever with your 100 rupees. I will only ask after some time. Some of you will go and eat momos. 100 रुपए मिल गए momos. Some of you will buy stationery and start preparing for UPSC. Or book. I don't know if 100 rupees you can buy a book now. So, you can? इतना डिफरेंस क्यों है तुम लोगों के उसमें? आर्य, हाँ, दरियागंज, yes. So, and there will be other who will put it in some investment. They will say, oh, extra income, let us put it in some mutual fund or something. And some others may even set up their, 100 rupees is too less amount. If supposedly it is 10,000 rupees, then you will set up, you will buy certain books and set up a stall at Rajendra Nagar. Different ways you have utilized your money. At the end, it comes and I ask you, okay, how much money do you have? I have a scheme whereby if you invest now, you will get 100x. And immediately, how many people, who will be able to invest in that? The people who have money at that time, who ate momos. मोमोज वाले नहीं कर पाएंगे? जो भी खाते हो यार समोसा, अरे तो कुछ समोसा खा लिया, कुछ फोन खरीद लिया, घड़ी खरीद ली, तुम्हारे खर्चे भी मैं ही बताऊं तुम्हें? मतलब कैसे बच्चे हो तुम लोग? So you take that and now those people will be able to invest in that 100x and they will become more rich. At the end of the day, inequality. Some will still cry, we are so poor, we don't have money, we cannot afford this, we cannot do this, we cannot do that. And some people will be like, oh, it's okay, let us give 2% CSR. Or we can do, just give this and that. But inequality will be there. Now again, after this situation, we come up with a particular exam or particular, a kind of a government tender where people who can invest can become part of the particular infrastructural project. Again, who will come? Those who are having money. Now we are saying, does it have equality of opportunity? Is it equality of opportunity? No? शुरू में था, फिर अच्छा, okay. Now ये तो हो गई एक जनरेशन की बात. Let's come to the second generation. Now both of you who are rich and a few of you who are not rich also have children. Now children are all innocent. Whoever they are born to is irrespective. They don't have any part in whatever decisions were taken by their parents, and they should not be penalized for whatever decisions their parents have taken. बात समझ में आ रही है? Now both of these children are again given an opportunity to enter into a international school, but the fees is a little high because the infrastructure is world class. Equality of opportunity again? No? But this time was this the mistake of that child? No? Now equality of opportunity means that we will have to do something. Not doing anything by the state is actually hampering the liberty of that person, that child, to also get into the good education, good health. This means equality of opportunity also means some intervention by government or state. So the government says, we will give scholarship to meritorious students, or we will subsidize it for particular seats like EWS seats. So there are separate EWS seats in all schools. What is this? Equality of the same opportunity, same school, same teachers, same everything. This is to bring equality of opportunity. समझ में आ गया equality of opportunity? Now, how much equality? Reasonable. ये reasonable शब्द हर जगह आ जाएगा. We are trying to be more and more equitable in our efforts. More and more. Government कितना कर पा रही है? Maximum करने की कोशिश कर रही है. But still, is it enough? Do people still have equality of opportunity? This means all the welfare schemes, all the whatever government is trying to do through social means is actually trying to bring equality of opportunity. वो स्कीम लेकर आती है बेटी बचाओ बेटी पढ़ाओ. क्यों पढ़ाओ? Equality of opportunity. Startup, Stand Up India. Equality of opportunity. Kisan Vikas, all the schemes. Fasal Bima Yojana. Everything. Manrega. At least survival. Equality of opportunity in survivability. Basic survival कर सके वो at least. All the schemes. कोई भी scheme का नाम लो. Any scheme. Take any scheme. Equality of ये चीज सोशल में आ जाएगी ना? क्या ये चीज सोशल में आ जाएगी? Equality of opportunity. हर चीज, any scheme, all scholarships. This means all social spending of government is actually an effort towards trying to balance equality and liberty. जितना पैसा सरकार खर्च कर रही है, सरकार का पूरा एफर्ट किस में जा रहा है? इक्वालिटी ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी. गवर्नमेंट का एग्जिस्टेंस क्यों है? टू एंश्योर इक्वालिटी ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड जस्टिस. अगला टॉपिक जस्टिस एंड इक्वालिटी ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी ऑल्सो इंक्लूड्स जस्टिस. क्योंकि उस बच्चे की गलती नहीं थी. रिमेंबर the child was not at fault. उसने तो जाके मोमोज खाए नहीं थे. मोमोज खाए थे किसने? पापा ने या मम्मी ने? बात समझ में आई? कॉन्सेप्ट मतलब समझ में आ रहा है? इनग्रेन हो रहा है? स्टेट क्यों है? टोटल स्टेट ही क्यों है? टू ब्रिंग दैट बैलेंस इन इक्वालिटी एंड लिबर्टी. अब जैसे जैसे हम वेस्टर्न डेमोक्रेसीज की तरफ जाते हैं, द मोर वी गो टुवर्ड्स कैपिटलिज्म. कैपिटलिज्म मींस मोर फ्रीडम. दिस है भाई साहब, इक्वालिटी ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी से ज्यादा जरूरी है अपॉर्चुनिटी टू एक्सेल, फ्रीडम टू चूज. they emphasize more on the first thing. ना, we should be free to do. If I want to become the wealthiest person, free to do. Even at the cost of equality of opportunity. Okay, more capitalism. As the capitalism grows, the state of the function or responsibility of state will be decreased, because now they don't have to ensure equality of opportunity. उनको क्या करना है? बस लड़ाई ना हो, दंगे ना हो, क्राइम ना हो, लॉ एंड ऑर्डर खराब ना हो. अगर स्टेट को कुछ और करना नहीं है तो रोल ऑफ द स्टेट विल डिक्रीज. स्टेट विल डिक्रीज. नाइट वॉचमैन स्टेट. व्हाट इज नाइट वॉचमैन स्टेट? नाइट के अंदर वॉचमैन क्या करता है? बस देखता रहता है. ये कब एक्टिव होगा वो? If something bad happens, only then that watchman will get active. This means state will get active when there is disharmony. Till the time industrialist is exploiting, labor is getting exploited, state is watching. According to this philosophy of capitalism, people are free to trade their labor, and industrialist is also free to buy the labor. But is it actual freedom? No. Why is it not actual freedom? What happens if a labor, daily wage labor says, supposedly, let's take an example again, है ना? Let us understand it to story context. ये सब वो तो पढ़ ही लोगे, इसमें ऐसा कुछ खास नहीं है. Supposedly there is a factory owner. He says he was paying to his labor somewhere around 20,000 rupees per person. Suddenly one day he says, where will they go? Let us reduce the cost further. From today onwards, I will pay you 15. Laborers are agitated. They're like, no, we won't comply. We want 20. 15 मिलेंगे, लेने लो, वरना leave the job. Now, problem is that these people have to pay for the bills of food. Their children go to school. They have to pay the rent. So much has to be done. Now, are they free? Can they say, no, we won't work at 15? Can they say this? No. A lot of constraints are there. So this means actually even when owner was free, the labor is not free. But supposedly these workers start to join each other and they say, tomorrow let us go to the koti, or what do you say, bungalow of house owner, factory owner. They take dandas with him, and we will teach him a lesson. Immediately the state wakes up. Violence, crime. Violence and crime unacceptable in a democratic space. समझ में आ रहा है? So the freedom in capitalism is defined by certain philosophers as only as a night watchman state. Night watchman state. At the same time, because there is freedom, industries will grow. Material will be cheaper, isn't it? And because it will be cheaper, they will have high exports, more income, more prosperity. Even though the prosperity is lopsided, but the country is rich. Isn't it? Now maybe government will spend something on some other areas, but still, is it actual freedom? No. We can say freedom for some is hampered. Freedom for poor is hampered. So then it is not a holistic freedom. Capitalism से इधर ले आओ बार को. Let us move towards. पहले socialism बीच में आएंगे. पहले communism, other extreme. Let us move towards the other extreme of communism. What will happen in communism? अरे तुम लोग कंक्लूजन बता रहे हो. कंक्लूजन नहीं, पहले मुझे बताओ कि स्टेट का क्या होगा. State will become very strong. Now state is trying to impose equality on each and everything. Now state is saying, देखो कोई फैक्ट्री ओनर नहीं है, नो फैक्ट्री ओनर। फैक्ट्री किसकी है? स्टेट की फैक्ट्री। ऑल फैक्ट्रीज आर ओन्ड बाय स्टेट. Salaries of managers and workers and everybody else is same. Equality of opportunity at its extreme. No require. Even if a farmer wants to become nuclear scientist, he should be allowed. No? Oh, चलो ठीक है, मतलब आपने एजुकेशनल क्राइटेरिया में तो रखा है ना, बस इकोनॉमिक क्राइटेरिया को चेंज कर दिया, थोड़ा सोशल क्राइटेरिया को चेंज कर दिया. दिस मीन्स ये एक थोड़ा साइड का एक नोट है कि even when economic, social and political criteria can be brought in the terms of equality, but intellectually can you put in, intellectually किसी भी तरीके से आप equality ला सकते हो? There are certain things where you cannot bring equality. Cannot. ठीक है, चलो मार्क्सिज्म पे आ जाओ दोबारा से. कम्युनिज्म, मार्क्सिज्म. So state is very powerful. It is bringing equality at the cost of liberty. The moment they say that no one is the factory owner, this means you are not free to choose your profession first. You cannot become factory owner. Okay. Can you excel? No. Whatever and howsoever good work you do, you cannot excel. All the energies of the state is to bring equality, and when there is no liberty, the innovation, the, what do you say, the growth and everything dampens, goes down. So overall, can we say people are more free when people are more equal? No? So is communism more free society? No? Freedom is very much restricted. In the times of Lenin, Stalin, all of these leaders who rather tried to practice communism, क्या problems आती थी? People used to be dictated how much and what they should be doing, what kind of food they should eat, what kind of everything used to be decided by the state. In the overall pursuit of equality of opportunity, they wanted to make people free from discrimination, but they killed the excellence. They killed the freedom. So rather than people becoming free, people becoming bound. This means आप इस एक्सट्रीम पे जाते हैं तब भी फ्रीडम हैम्पर होती है, उस एक्सट्रीम पे जाते हैं तब भी फ्रीडम हैम्पर होती है. There must be some middle ground, but that middle ground is very difficult to establish. And the middle ground was found through democratic socialism. Democracy means everybody is free to choose, everybody is free to vote. And now, whatever the government they have chosen is their government. They have chosen it. They are free. Now, this government takes up certain measures or laws or acts to bring what? Equality of opportunity. Through certain schemes, through scholarship, this and that and this and that. But can in any manner complete equality or complete freedom be balanced and achieved? The dynamics is very complex. Whatever the political thinkers, economic thinkers, economists, जितने भी हैं ये लोग जितने भी, ये सब क्या ट्राई कर रहे हैं? Just to balance this equality and liberty thing. But it is very difficult to balance. Because the moment you intervene more, liberty is gone. If you intervene less, equality is gone. how much to intervene and how to intervene is the essence. How much means in what, to what extent should a government intervene? Should a government intervene by bringing resources? उसने कहा नहीं नहीं, स्कूल बनवा दो, सबको इक्वालिटी ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी होनी चाहिए, everybody should be able to give UPSC exam equally. Let us improve the schooling system. One way. Second way, नहीं नहीं नहीं, let us, because that will be very difficult to do, lot of funds will be expended. No, no, no. Let us give scholarship to certain meritorious students, that they can go to Delhi, to Rajendra Nagar, Mukherjee Nagar, and they can avail this scholarship and study. A different way of trying to bring equality of opportunity. No, no, no. Third way also. Reduce the cutoff for certain people. Reservation. Equality of opportunity. In all the three, government is playing with the very complex dynamics of equality and liberty. जैसे ही reservation दिया, equality is more, but the liberty of certain people are. But फिर देखना पड़ेगा किसकी liberty ज़्यादा important है उस वक्त पे. So isn't it very fine balance? So this fine balance is all about governance. पूरी governance का motive, reason, सब कुछ इसी पे based है. ठीक है? Simple?
Like idea of liberty. Any idea is of ethics. Idea doesn't care what happens, whether it is right or not. So whatever, even if we take a reasonable restriction, we say the balancing act of governance. Even if we take those paths also, we are hampering somewhere, we are hampering liberty. Even we are taking like for a maximum population, we are taking the decision for them, but it will hamper a proportion of population.
Always, always. There is no way you can balance.
Think any idea for solution is like creating a more and more mess.
Yes. So it is like this idea and liberty, this concept of liberty and idea. We are trying to achieve the balance with various measures. But the problem is very simple. Problem है कि ये दोनों का fine balance बैठा पाना and the complex dynamics is very, very difficult. अगर मैंने अब जैसे हम simple, हम तो बहुत छोटे से हैं. It's a very small class. How many people? Right now, maybe like what? Huh? तुम्हारे तो किसी का estimate भी सही नहीं आ रहे. चलो ठीक है, चलो मान लेते हैं 50 मान लेते हैं. ठीक है, 50 लोगों के, 50 नहीं है वैसे, but 50 लोगों में है. अच्छा ऑनलाइन को भी मिला, ऑनलाइन तो ज्यादा होंगे, मुझे नहीं पता कितने, दिख नहीं रहे. तो सो सपोजिटली चलो 100 मान लो, 40. ऑनलाइन वाले बच्चों को एकदम नंबर फिक्स है. हाँ 40, yes 40. So supposedly let's understand it in the terms of 100 people. ठीक है? If I said कि okay, अब से जिन लोगों के नंबर कम आएंगे, those people who are scoring less, है ना, they will be given extra classes. Personally, by there is nothing. This I'm just explaining. This is not an announcement. I am just explaining the concept of equality and liberty. Why am I giving this example? Let's do something else. But when it is on you, it becomes more, you understand it better. So supposedly, so people who are not able to cross the threshold, let us take some extra classes. Now tell me, is it equality or is it hampering liberty? Equality, it is trying to bring equality, but at the same time, the people who are performing well are being disincentivized. Why they are being disincentivized? because they are not getting something just because they are performing well. Okay? Similar is the opposite is also true. If I say only the top 10% I will coach, rest of you, other one is all. I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how. अभी तुम्हें लग रहा है कि क्लासेस में क्या जा रहा है ना? Okay, let's take away the classes. I'll tell you. Take away the classes. Now let us ask for the contribution. Now I say the whole 100 people will have to contribute 1,000 rupees to the general fund of the class. So 1,000 plus into 100 कितना हो गया? 1 lakh rupees. Now I say this 1 lakh rupees will be distributed in the students only. Student welfare के लिए ये है ना? So people who are not able to perform well, at least they should be given some compensation. Compensation in the sense they are not able to perform well. They are a little fisaddi. So what shall we do? We shall give them 5,000 rupees each. है ना? सब किसको लगता है एकदम सही है ये? गलत है? गलत है? गलत है? किसको लगता है? अच्छा किसको लगता है कि गलत है? और किसको लगता है कि सही है? बस तुम्हें ही लग रहा है बेटा. No, अभी देखो. Yes, you are right. But at an individual level, you have to see. Individually, I'll tell you again. Now let us change a little more dynamics. For that contribution of 1,000 we take from all. Now there are certain people who are performing well, doing a lot of hard work, and they were actually poor. They actually could not contribute that 1,000 rupees, but they contributed after borrowing it from somebody else. And now the people who are not performing, some of them are coming through Mercedes. And now they take 5,000 rupees and go to a pub. I know. No. So I'll tell you. Policies when made, they are made generically. They are never made for specifics. Basically, देखो मैं तुम्हें बताती हूँ, whatever you do, in whatever situation you take, liberty, people who are there, someone or other will stand up and say, my liberty is being hampered. तो implementation हटा दें? Implementation हटा दें? अच्छा ठीक है. हाँ philosophy part बताओ. वो तो परफॉर्मेंस बेसिस पे हो रहा था.
आपको लग रहा है कि वो पढ़ नहीं रहा, फिर भी ऐसे वो मर्सिडीज आ रहा है, तो पैसे लो, वो आ रहा है ना, पैसे लो, दूसरे को दूसरा पढ़ रहा है.
सुनो, जब भी हम ये सारे कॉन्सेप्ट्स पढ़ रहे हैं ना, इसको ऐसे समझो. Whether it is classes, है ना? अब मैं तुम्हें बता दूं, क्लासेस वाले एग्जांपल से बताती हूँ. You are saying कि क्लासेस तक ठीक था. Till the time we were not including money, we were giving them extra classes. That was okay, fine. No? How many of you feel giving extra classes to people who underperform is right? right? And how many of you think it is wrong? अरे यार तुम किसकी साइड हो? तुम किसकी साइड हो यार बताओ? ये कह रहे मैं साइंस की साइड हूँ। ये उसमें भी हाथ खड़ा करो, उसमें भी हाथ खड़ा करो। अच्छा सुनो सुनो सुनो, अब हम उसे क्लास क्लास दे रहे हैं ना एक्स्ट्रा, लेकिन अभी हमने ये नहीं बताया पढ़ाएगा कौन। अब मैंने बताया कि जो एक्स्ट्रा क्लास है वो खुद कांट आके पढ़ाएगा, लेकिन सिर्फ वही अटेंड कर सकता है जिसके कम मार्क्स है। स्वयं कांट रीबर्थ लेके री इनकारनेट करके किसकी लिबर्टी हैम्पर हो रही है? जो अच्छा परफॉर्म कर रहा है। कांट पढ़ा रहा है यार। मैं बैठ जाऊंगी उधर। अच्छा ओके, don't let's not go into the discussion mode. Philosophy is something we can discuss the whole day. It's okay. भारत 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 माफ कर दो उसे, माफ कर दो, ठीक है? Philosophy is something we will all have our own ideas, and we all think it is the you know whatever we are thinking is the correct way of thinking, and this is the beauty of philosophy. People who are supporting negative liberty, absolutely sure negative liberty is the way out. People who are talking about positive liberty, मैं बताऊंगी negative और positive क्या है, absolutely sure positive liberty ही liberty है। यही तो beauty है कि different spectrums है, and yet we cannot say कि यार ये इसका final conclusion। हर किसी के pros and cons हैं, pros and cons हैं। So everything has a different shade of gray, and in those different shade of gray, you just have to choose which gray you want. लिखो लिखो यार, कहीं पे बताओ, मुझे लिख के भेजना। मैंने क्या क्या कई बार मैं ऐसी ऐसी बातें बोल देती हूँ, मुझे लगता है खुद मैं कहीं पे डालूं। हाँ लिख के भेजना। World is a different shades of gray, and we just have to choose which gray we want. क्या पता कल को लोग मेरे नाम के आगे भी ऐसे लिखने लगे quotes. Okay, fine. बात समझ में आई? So these equality and liberty are very difficult to balance. तो हमारा आंसर भी कैसा होना चाहिए? जो जैसा भी कोई सा भी हम आंसर बात कर रहे हैं, it should highlight this, that whatever efforts are being taken to balance this. ठीक है? अब लिबर्टी के दो एस्पेक्ट्स होते, ऑफ कोर्स इकोनॉमिक लिबर्टी देख लिया, सोशल लिबर्टी बताओ, सोशल लिबर्टी क्या है? We should be able to gather, we should be able to move freely, we should be able to follow some particular religion, we should be able to follow particular culture, है ना? We should be able to form marry or not, कोई जबरदस्ती नहीं होनी चाहिए ना शादी करने की। We should be able to join certain social groups or come out of, exit certain social groups, isn't it? We can, अब देखो, untouchability. Now, the moment a person is, what do you say, discriminated on the basis of caste, what is hampered? Dignity and liberty. Liberty of dignified life. Liberty of dignified social relations. जो उसके सोशल रिलेशंस है, सोशल स्टेटस है, उसमें से डिग्निटी आपने रिस्पेक्ट गायब कर दी। ये भी तो एक फ्रीडम है ना? कि हम डिग्निफाइड तरीके से एग्जिस्ट कर सकें, that freedom is hampered. And because of this, we try to make people equal. We say abolition of untouchability. Constitution में लिख दिया. जैसे abolition हुआ, this means that untouchability cannot be practiced. And with this, freedom increases. Freedom of people increases. तो जरूरी नहीं है कि हर बार जब हम इक्वालिटी लाने की कोशिश करेंगे तब लिबर्टी हैम्पर होगी. Sometimes bringing equality can bring liberty also. और जब हम ये वाला एग्जाम्पल कोट करेंगे, then who we will quote? People who supported equality and liberty are complementary. Got it? Social equality. What else? What else means social equality? All religions should be treated equal. Should there be discrimination on the basis of religion in jobs? Anything else like, what do you say? Reasonable discrimination like? हाँ, वो पॉलिटी का इफेक्ट है तुम पे. हाँ, it's okay. Yes. What else? अरे सोशल इक्वालिटी में और बताओ क्या हो सकता है? Article 19. What is Article 19? So everybody should be able to express their opinions. Okay. Everybody should be, of course, there are reasonable restrictions. Reasonable restrictions. Everybody should be able to pursue their religion. There should be no higher, lower in religions. Every religion should be equally treated. Even in the law, even in all other respects. Can you say X religion cannot enter here except it is for some religious practice? उनको बोल सकते हो नहीं 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 इस स्कूल में इस रिलीजन के लोगों को नहीं लेंगे या उस रिलीजन के लोगों को नहीं, ऐसा कर सकते हैं? स्पेशली जहां पे गवर्नमेंट का होल्ड है. Marriage, family, people are free to marry, free not to marry, free to have children, not to have children. All of this is social freedom. Respect and dignity are the major words in society. Tolerance for other people. Okay, fine. Social liberty के अंदर who will decide? Who is the authority? Who is the authority? Who will decide how much liberty people can have? So in society, liberty or equality is generally decided by conventions, traditions, and society itself. But state can influence the society, and just as society influences the state. People, जैसे कि एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे स्टेट मेड दी सोसाइटी एक्सेप्टेड सती, स्टेट मेड दी लॉ एंटी सती, slowly and steadily moved out of the practice. This means state can ensure liberty as well as equality, both. But sometimes even if the state wants, it cannot implement it. अगर सोसाइटी ना माने तो स्टेट कुछ नहीं करवा सकता. एग्जाम्पल एंटी डॉरी एक्ट. There is a law. Giving and taking dowry is a punishable offense. But is it stopped? No. और जोक्स और बन गए. दहेज लेना पाप है और कन्या ही दहेज है. So what is this? Basically, rather than government able to get it implemented, society has refuted it. तो अगर सोसाइटी ना चाहे तो स्टेट कुछ नहीं कर सकता. This means if the liberty, social liberty has to be brought in, state can help, but ultimate change has to be brought in society. इक्वालिटी, गवर्नमेंट ने बोल दिया एंटी अनटचेबिलिटी, फाइन। सोसाइटी ने कहा ठीक है बाहर नहीं करेंगे, बाहर कर नहीं सकते, मेट्रो में कैसे अनटचेबिलिटी परफॉर्म करोगे, ऑप्शन है इतनी भीड़ है, हो ही नहीं सकता, पता भी नहीं ना, है ना। गांव में हो सकता है तो वहां हो रहा है। कभी ऐसा हुआ है कि कोई व्यक्ति घर पर आया तो कभी किसी की दादी नानी ने बोला हो कि अरे ये बर्तन अलग रख दो, कभी बोला है ना? वो लोग करते हैं, लेकिन बताओ ना क्यों, सोसाइटी, है ना। दिस मीन्स इक्वालिटी एंड लिबर्टी हैज टू बी इंश्योर्ड। अगर सोशल इक्वालिटी सोशल लिबर्टी की बात हो रही है तो कहाँ चेंज करना जरूरी है, ठीक है। पॉलिटिकल, व्हाट इज पॉलिटिकल लिबर्टी? Everybody can vote, everyone can contest elections, okay, adults मतलब, हाँ, hold any position of Indian government, okay, what else, equal representation, Irfan, yes, हाँ, when at a political post they can take some political decisions, okay, what else, what is political liberty? They can form political government, sorry, political, they can criticize government, fine, they can form a political party with a particular agenda, they can decide their own manifesto and agenda, isn't it political freedom? उन्होंने कहा कि हम तो डेवलपमेंट पे लड़ेंगे इलेक्शंस, दे कैन, उन्होंने कहा नहीं ना नहीं, हम तो कास्ट पे लड़ेंगे, हम तो रिलीजन पे, अलाउड नहीं है एक्सप्लिसिटली, they are doing it because politically they can decide their own goals, political agendas and political manifestos. What they will do, they are free to decide, nobody is telling them nahi 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 yahi karna hai. Freedom, political freedom. Now political freedom, why is it important? भाई हमारा पूरा नेशनल स्ट्रगल पॉलिटिकल फ्रीडम के लिए तो था, है ना। Why is political freedom important? We can make laws which will impact society and economy, which will define all the activities of the our lives, from education to health to everything else. सब कुछ politically determine our goals. अगर आपके पास political liberty नहीं है, can you be economically free? What was the main problem when we were under British government? Hello or no? We were not represented. So this, we were not allowed to choose our leaders, and because there were no leaders of Indian origin, therefore the policies were made not from Indian perspective but from the perspective of British. This means that British can say that British companies will have to pay no import or export duties, but Indian companies will have to. Economic equality gone, economic liberty gone because of political liberty. They said dogs and Indians not allowed. In particular, big restaurants, clubs. Social equality and liberty gone. Everything. Political equality and liberty is the essence, or is the, what do you say, the source from where all other equalities and liberties come. आपको नहीं इकोनॉमी से अपन इकोनॉमिक तरीके से चीजों को ठीक करेंगे, सोशल तरीके से, पॉलिटिक्स इज दी हेड. अगर क्वेश्चन आ जाता है वुमेन रिजर्वेशन बिल which has been recently passed is an effort towards social equality. तो क्या सिर्फ सोशल इक्वालिटी डिस्कस करोगे? पॉलिटिक्स क्यों सोशल इक्वालिटी कैसे आएगी? पॉलिटिकल इक्वालिटी. Women reservation bill is an act of social liberty, political liberty also. Politically, women are free to take responsible positions. They seem more complimentary. No, there are numerous examples, है ना? Or we will think we will get. So equality and liberty, वही मैं बताया ना आपको, there is one phrase only. तेरी मेरी बने ना, तेरे बिना सरे ना. This means that liberty and equality, there is no liberty without equality. There is no equality without liberty. But the moment you take them together, they will fight with each other always, most of the time. Few cases, of course, they will go along. तीसरा कोई अटैक करेगा तो दोनों दोस्त बन जाएंगे. लेकिन पॉलिटी इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इंडियन फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल और जितने भी रेवोल्यूशन हुए, अमेरिकन रेवोल्यूशन, ब्रिटिश रेवोल्यूशन, फ्रेंच रेवोल्यूशन, एंटी इंपीरियलिस्ट रेवोल्यूशंस, all the across the world, all have targeted or have the goal of political liberty. It is such a fascinating idea. People have given their lives for political liberty. People want to make their own government, to have their own representatives, to make or to decide laws for them. Now, here you should mention about Hobbes. So Hobbes and Rousseau, both of them nearly gave social contract theory. You remember? Social contract theory means every one of us has equally signed a contract with the state. This means we all are equal stakeholders in the state policy. We should be able to decide the policies that should be governed. But of course, will there be any time 100% people supporting for something? Therefore, we will have to go for some majority rule. Now, this is known as general will. So, Rousseau and Hobbes and all these people say that state should be governed by general will. And general will is something which will ensure maximum liberty to maximum people. Simple. तो इसमें social contract theory से सबको equal मिल गया. But then let us talk about liberty of heinous crime, people who have done heinous crimes, criminals. Liberty of terrorists. Liberty of rapists, murderers. Do they have also, is their liberty also important? Their liberty is also important? Why? No? Acha, how many of you feel that their liberty is also important? Okay. And how many of you feel their liberty is not important? Restriction चाहिए? Okay. Women will be important, ma'am, but with certain foundations. Liberty is important with reasonable restrictions by the state. They have lost their liberty by endangering others. अब ये कौन बोलेगा? Yes, ये भी एक है. ये can't बोलेगा. उसने कहा equal reward, negative or positive. You have hampered somebody's liberty, your liberty will be gone. तुमने आंख फोड़ी, your आंख will be gone. आई फॉर एन आई, बिकॉज यू हैव अर्नड दैट नेगेटिव रिवॉर्ड। जस्टिस में पढ़ेंगे हम लोग, अभी तीसरा पिलर बाकी है, जस्टिस। हाँ समझेंगे। लिबर्टी इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, बट इज लिबर्टी यूनिवर्सल और इज इट लिमिट, और यू इट शुड बी पुट ऑन सम क्राइटेरिया। कुछ क्राइटेरिया होना चाहिए। अच्छा, क्या क्राइटेरिया होना चाहिए? Liberty will be respected for those who have not hindered the liberty of others. Fine. If somebody has hindered the liberty of others, state can hinder their liberty. Bilkul. If somebody has murdered someone, hindered the right to life or liberty to live more, they can be hanged till death, or they can be life imprisonment. They can be given life imprisonment. समझ में आ रहा है? Yes. So even though state can restrict their liberty, it should be on reasonable grounds, evidence based. There should be proper evidence. Why is that necessary? It should not be arbitrary, because the moment anybody starts to hinder arbitrarily anybody's liberty, then it will be chaos, anarchy. Liberty should only be hindered on reasonable grounds by specified authority. एक अथॉरिटी होनी चाहिए कि जज बताएगा या कोर्ट बताएगा guilty or not. Police will not decide. Mob will not decide. So liberty can be hindered by not everybody and anybody. It should be decided by the court, a particular authority, and in a particular process. बिल्कुल करी जा सकती, क्यों नहीं करी जा सकती? हमारे यहाँ तो कैपिटल पनिशमेंट है, रेयरेस्ट ऑफ रेयर में है, लेकिन है तो सही। हाँ, तो रेयरेस्ट ऑफ रेयर केस में हम लोग कर देते हैं। अच्छा बताओ, अब लिबर्टी किसकी इंपॉर्टेंट है? मतलब देखो, ये ना, ये ऐसे वाले क्वेश्चंस हैं जिसके अंदर हर तरीके के आर्गुमेंट्स आपके आ जाएं, ठीक है? वो कैपिटल पनिशमेंट में लेंगे हम, कैपिटल पनिशमेंट में आएगा वो वाला, ठीक है? पॉलिटिकल लिबर्टी समझ में आ गया? पॉलिटिकल लिबर्टी क्यों जरूरी है, और इसके लिए कितने एग्जाम्पल्स लिख सकते हो? कितने भी एग्जाम्पल पॉलिटिकल लिबर्टी के लिए तो कितने भी लिख सकते हो। अच्छा बताओ, इज इट ओके टू हैव सिविल डिसोबीडियंस मूवमेंट, और rather is it okay to have a armed rebellion against democratic government? No. So armed rebellion is not right in a democratic government. Why? You have right to peaceful protest. You can protest. You have various avenues through which you can express your dissent. Fine. तो सिविल डिसोबीडियंस कर सकते हैं, पीसफुल नॉन कॉपरेशन, पीसफुल सिविल डिसोबीडियंस कर सकते हैं। गवर्नमेंट नहीं मान रहा मतलब? गवर्नमेंट तो कभी भी नहीं मानेगा। सिविल डिसोबीडियंस परमिशन से थोड़े ना करोगे सिविल डिसोबीडियंस। सर, मे आई अप्लाई टू डू सिविल डिसोबीडियंस इन दिस कंट्री? गांधी नहीं थोड़े ना सब। हाँ, तो नहीं माना तो तुम्हारी स्ट्रेंथ की कमी है। यस, वही मतलब वी आर कमिंग टू दैट पॉइंट ओनली। सिविल डिसोबीडियंस करा जा सकता है, करा जा सकता है। अच्छा, बहुत सारे लोगों ने सिविल डिसोबीडियंस कर लिया सपोजिडली। हाँ, सोल्जर्स ने कर लिया, डॉक्टर्स ने कर लिया। करना देना चाहिए? नहीं, अभी तो तुम बोले यार, तुम लोग डिसाइड कर लो एक बार।
Restrictions are there.
अब तुमने कहा करने देना चाहिए, फिर तुमने कहा नहीं करने देना चाहिए,
Soldier कर रहा है, China.
नहीं करने दे सकते? हाँ. So this means that even when we are talking about liberty, we can restrict liberty of certain sections to protest, to act in a certain way in the overall benefit of national security and interest. जैसे कि वो पढ़ा होगा आर्टिकल पॉलिटी के अंदर आता है ना, सोल्जर्स प्रोटेस्ट नहीं कर सकते, हाँ, ऑफिसर यूनियन नहीं बना सकते, पता है? They can at most form associations, but there can be no union of officers. No union. Why can't they form? यूनियन बाजी, ऑफिसर यूनियन बाजी करने लगेंगे तो मतलब सरकार कौन चलाएगा? वही यूनियन बना के बैठे हैं, हमारी सैलरी बढ़ाओ, है ना? तो इस वैसा नहीं हो सकता. So there are certain reasonable restrictions that can be put. Plus, sufficient avenues should be created for dissent. Particular avenues होने चाहिए जहां पे dissent हो सके. ठीक है. Okay. Environmental liberty, even other people or other vegetation, animals have equal liberty to exist. जैसे कि अब मैन एनिमल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होता है. मैन एनिमल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट क्यों हो रहा है? क्योंकि शेर के घर में जाके तुमने अपना घर बना लिया, है ना? द जोन वाज एनिमल्स के जोन के अंदर आपने, तो आपने उनकी लिबर्टी हिंडर करी. अब वो बार बार आ जाता है, उसको एड्रेस याद ही नहीं रहता कि एड्रेस चेंज हो गया. अब वो आ जाता है, आप बोलते हो कि अरे इन्फ्रिंजिंग माय लिबर्टी, और उस पे आप गोली चला देते हो. This means liberty of there is subordinate to your liberty. ये रहेगा एंथ्रोपोसेंट्रिक व्यू है आपका. अगर आपने दोनों की लिबर्टी को इक्वल माना, if you have said that both the liberties are equal, liberty of an animal to exist and liberty of a human is equal, then ecocentric. Then your view is ecocentric. Audio क्या हुआ? आ रही है? Check your Vikas, your speakers. Yes, different culture will have different types of we will come to अच्छा आ गया cultural. Okay. अच्छा, जब हम when we are talking about environment, should we also talk about Jainism? Jainism, life in all the every. We should also mention about J.C. Bose. Vibrations in plants. Okay. Culture. We should also talk about Bishnoi community. Their harmonious way of existing. Bishnoi culture and Bishnoi religion. है ना? We should also talk about Buddhism, Ahimsa. And we should also talk about tribal cultures. They also have an ecocentric way of understanding the world. And a liberty. They just don't see the liberty of only humans. They also see the liberty of nature. They do not believe in changing nature according to your convenience. They try to integrate nature with human needs. Example, the living bridges of Meghalaya. What are living bridges of Meghalaya? How many of you know about it? Okay. So there are a lot of water streams all across Meghalaya, and people have to go from one hill to another hill, and it's very difficult. So rather than creating artificial bridges, there is a certain plant which has long and strong roots. The people have woven the roots itself, and now it has formed a bridge. Just go on internet and see living bridges of Meghalaya. You will find it very famous. So this means what have they done? Integrated liberty of nature with the liberty of humans. Sustainability. This is all about sustainability. Sustainability goals. SDG, in line with it. In this world, currently we are trying to just follow this. And if we follow this philosophy, will there be any problem of carbon, global warming, pollution? No. It will be resolved. It will also resolve the conflict of development and environment protection, environment conservation. Fine. So, agar by chance question aa jata hai, liberty of nature, etc., etc., we can write. So, the moment you have to, if the question is on liberty, we should be able to discuss it holistically. Okay. Cultural liberty. How much and what is the limit of cultural liberty? Is it okay to wear your cultural dress in public places? Pakka? Depends on what the law is. Supposedly a tribal child comes and the tribal culture says that you just have to wear some leaves. Should it be allowed to come to school, college? No? अभी तुम लोग डिसाइड कर लो एक बार. Some restriction. कौन डिसाइड करेगा ये? State? Okay, okay. Okay, fine. Okay. This means that religious, so in culture many different things come. It comes food, it comes religion. So display of religious identity should be allowed. Allowed? How much? So in simple sense, am I free to follow any religion? Yes. Am I free to display what my religion is? Yes. How much display? Public order, morality, and health. Okay. Yes. So there should be some reasonable restrictions. It doesn't mean that culturally it can. How many of you know about African practice of female mutilation? Female mutilation, what do you say? Practice, huh? FGM, female genital mutilation, no? Okay. So, in certain cultures, the private parts of girls are swayed. मतलब उनको सिल दिया जाता है. They are closed by proper needle and thread. Just मतलब it creates hindrance even for normal excretion or normal activities of the individual. Now they say that it is their cultural practice. Now if any African person comes here and want to practice it, should we allow? No, but it's part of their religion and part of their culture. It's hurting individual liberty, but that individual is not protesting. Impact on society. Culture should not affect humanity. Okay. Human rights. Yes, human rights are one. So there has to be certain reasonable restriction in culture also, in religion also, in whatever things that you practice. in whatever cultural form. So human sacrifice not allowed because it hurts the liberty of life of somebody else. Such practices not allowed because of hindrance of liberty to that individual, even if that individual is not protesting. It's the state's responsibility to ensure certain level of dignity to the individual. जब रेप केस होता है या मर्डर केस होता है, it is not just a case against the individual. It is a state. पता है ना ये बात? नहीं बताती? पता है? अगर किसी ने रेप किया है तो वो उसके खिलाफ इंडिविजुअल ही केस नहीं करता, सिर्फ स्टेट केस करता है. Why? क्योंकि उसने सिर्फ एक इंडिविजुअल की लिबर्टी को हैम्पर नहीं किया है, उसने स्टेट को, स्टेट के लॉ को, स्टेट की डिग्निटी को हैम्पर किया. Therefore, state takes up the case. This means that culturally also we have to be seeing that liberty is reasonably undertaken. Absolute liberty cannot be granted. अब लेकिन फ्रांस में क्या हुआ? फ्रांस में हिजाब के ऊपर बहुत controversies create हो गई. So in France, there were problems created by wearing of religious. So Western countries, अभी हमने secularism किया नहीं है, we will see, but in France, France or Western countries, secularism means complete dissociation of state and religion. Complete dissociation. So there women who were wearing hijab were said that you cannot wear hijab in public places. You cannot. अब इसमें क्या प्रॉब्लम आई? Cultural, religious liberty. Okay. It's just a costume, right? Okay. Now, now a Sikh also wants to carry the kirpan. You can allow hijab, but not the kirpan. Now they can be allowed kirpan. Kirpan is not a weapon. It's not. It's a weapon. It's just for self. All weapons are for self-defense. ऐसा कौन सा weapon? है? So now if the Sikh people wants not to want, if Sikh people do not want to wear helmets because of their turban, should be allowed? अरे तुम लोग ऐसे ना डिसाइड नहीं कर पा रहे. How many of you think that it should be allowed? How many of you think it should not be allowed? Then, because they are wearing something, they can be allowed. Then, even if Muslims are wearing that cap, they should also be allowed not to wear helmets. Turban doesn't safeguard the accidental thing, not much. Not firstly, not every turban is like this. Some are judi also. है ना? अब देखो तुम लोग, अब देख रहे हो हम ही डिसाइड नहीं कर पा रहे हैं कितनी सारी चीजें. This means all these concepts of socio-political liberty needs continuous discussion, and they determine the kind of liberty or equality people will have in society. If French government says that no display of religion is allowed in public, then everybody will have to comply. Hijab will have to go, kirpan will have to go, whatever, every religious display will have to go. It hampers the freedom to a certain extent. Unequally hampers because certain religions do not show. But at the other end, then you see, it doesn't bring the equality. Equality in the sense people appear more equal, and less differences in their appearance can be a way towards more integration. Of course, homogenization is a problem, but diversity is a problem too. हम मल्टीकल्चरलिज्म में देखेंगे कि क्या क्या इसके मॉडल्स हो सकते हैं, बट आई थिंक दे वियर क्रॉसेस फ्रीली. नहीं मतलब they are not saying, actually they are against public display of religion. If you wear cross inside your clothes, or if you wear Janayu inside your clothes, they are not discussing that. Public display, it will come under public display. अब पूरी इक्वेशन आपको समझ में आ रही है? एक को अलाउ करो, कुछ ना कुछ, ठीक है? So this means that cultural liberty is in itself a very complex issue. Definitely, for personal development, for personality development, a certain level of cultural freedom should be there. But at the same time, a country needs integration and fraternity, which is more what do you say, implementable, or which is more there when certain laws are there which prevent too much differences. अब ये पूरा जो इक्वेशन है ना कि किसको रोकना और किसको जाने देना है, किस चीज को रोकना और किस चीज को अलाउ करना है कल्चरली. आपको बलि को रोकना है, ह्यूमन सैक्रिफाइस, एनिमल सैक्रिफाइस को रोकना है, you have to stop it. But wearing of certain symbols doesn't harm, you know, planting or sacrificing some plants doesn't harm. अब ये जितनी भी इक्वेशंस हैं, ये सब सोशियो पॉलिटिकल फिलॉसफी का पार्ट है. बस इसी का डिस्कशन करना है हमें कि ऐसा इसलिए नहीं किया जा सकता, इसमें ये एडवांटेज है, डिसएडवांटेज है, ऐसा इसलिए, ऐसा इसलिए, ऐसा इसलिए. ओके. Globally free means sovereignty. Okay. So globally we have become more free because of internet, isn't it? Now you are free to form groups. You are playing a video game from Christina of Russia, Chang Chu Cha of China, and Kwang Wang of South Korea, and Barbados of Argentina. You all are in a same play group. Free. World has become more free. More liberty is there. But what problems it has created? कोई problems भी हुए हैं क्या? बहुत सारे. जैसे
चाइना अपना ना चाइना का नाम इसको ना इन्फ्लुएंस कर रहा है, बर्बाद कर रहा है चाइना।
नहीं, यूथ तो बर्बाद कर ही रहा है, लेकिन अच्छा मुझे ये बताओ, राइट टू प्राइवेसी कितना होना चाहिए? हाउ मच राइट टू प्राइवेसी इज और शुड बी अलाउड? अच्छा, राइट टू प्राइवेसी इज, विल इट कम अंडर लिबर्टी? It is a part of liberty? We should be free to maintain our privacy. Yes, Irfan, Nikita, yes, Vikas, yes. We should be free. Okay, right to privacy. How much privacy? जब तक national interest को interfere ना करे. अच्छा, right to privacy cannot be given to a terrorist. Yes, yes, yes. So medical history, should a person be forced to share their medical history? No. If a person is HIV positive, तब करना चाहिए? अरे तुम लोग एक विचार ही नहीं बना पाते हो, बिना बिना लोटे के पैंदे, और क्या बिना पैंदे के लोटे हो तुम लोग? बिन पैंदे के लोटे. Bin pende ke lote means that you do not have a stand of your own till it is not against the state. Of course, it is not against the state. But should a HIV positive patient tell the spouse or partner about their medical history? No? Because this is an ethical concern. Yes, they should. So should doctor be allowed to share it? डॉक्टर को नहीं करना चाहिए? अब कोई ऐसा हुआ जिसने नहीं बताया, फिर life of that person is at risk. It harms others' freedom. Yes, it harms others' freedom. And recently there was a talk about right to be forgotten. So should we have right to be forgotten? Huh? How many of you feel that we should be free to avail right to be forgotten? How many of you are there? One. Ye wala, this, I don't count this as a stand. This is not a stand. This is a stand. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, fine. Huh. How many of you think that there should not be any right to be forgotten? Should not be there? Okay. Okay. Okay, tell me, what are the benefits of or at the liberty level, at the freedom level? Ma'am, there are the PT questions. These are the polity questions. Kya beta Vikas? No, medical issues are not something to forget when it is a major issue. Yes. Alright, so batao na. So should a terrorist be allowed to be forgotten? No? A scammer? Sometime yes, sometime no. Who will decide? There must not be right to be forgotten because history teach and repeats. Oh, very good, Navneet. Very good. आप सुधरना चाहते हो लेकिन मौका नहीं मिला. So if you want to amend your ways, but because of the internet presence, a person is not able to. So they should be allowed to be forgotten. Okay. So let's take a case. Case. Huh? फिर क्राइम कर दिया, फिर बुला दो. Personal data on social media, right to be forgotten unless we haven't committed any act against the state and its laws. So the act is not against state and its laws, then we can forget. No? No? So basically, again, we have to discuss. While the information, whatever it is, it's a personal information. It's about that person. It impacts their self-development, their life, their dignity, and everything else. The opportunities they will have, definitely. So, one group of philosophers and thinkers will say that they should have freedom or liberty to be forgotten, because everyone should get a second chance. And there are a lot of people who have got second chance and they have amended their ways. Example, Valmiki. Example, this and that. But of course, their past was not forgotten. Huh? Huh? After completing punishment, should the person be forgotten? But again, this is a very, very dangerous path. Because the moment you enter this, lot of other liberties get hampered. To maintain just the one liberty of individual, not to reveal personal information or privacy of an individual, you are also hampering the social, economic, or political liberty of all others. Doesn't an employer needs to know who they are hiring, their past? If a person is a sexual offender, if a person is a scammer, should they be? They should be free to know more about that person to safeguard their own interests. बस यही दोनों की लड़ाई है, चलती रही. अंत में क्या होना चाहिए? It can only be adopted with various safeguards, appropriate authority, and all the other factors which has to be taken. Only then it may be thought, but yet it is a very complex issue which must be deliberated much more. खत्म. ठीक है? अगर हम national freedom अब हम कर चुके हैं, मैं मान के चल रही हूँ, you people know about it from history perspective, right? It's not much. You all know what is national freedom and why we require it, what is it, what it entails, everything. Coming to individual. So individually also, there are two aspects. Internal freedom and external freedom. Internal freedom means freedom within. How many of you think that you are free? Or how many of you think you are free? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. How many of you do not feel free? यार इसमें तो और कुछ लोगों ने किसी में भी हाथ खड़ा नहीं किया, उन्हें क्या माना जाए? Okay, fine. Free to a limited extent. Yes. Okay, fine. So that internal freedom means your own freedom to think, to express, and everything else. And it also includes the internal freedom, which is known as liberation, to pursue higher goals. तो जितना भी हम spirituality में पढ़ते हैं, religion में पढ़ते हैं, that also gets included in the internal freedom. Freedom from suffering, freedom from pain, freedom from anger, freedom from envy, all of this will also come. There is the concept in Jainism, Jit Endriye, the one who has won over the senses or passions. Similarly, Buddha says dukh, and the solution to the dukh is dukh nirodh, of course, है ना? So to stop that dukh, we must stop that 12 cycles. We should stop about that passion, that bhav or bhav. It should be stopped. Isn't it a freedom? They are trying for ultimate freedom. Freedom from rebirth, freedom from misery and death and all of these things. This is also freedom, internal freedom. People who are free from the judgment of others. Huh? So there is a philosopher Sartre, a Western philosopher, we will do him. So Sartre says, we are condemned to be free. We are so free that we are condemned to be free. Even if we do not want to choose, we will have to choose. Not choosing is also an act of choosing. You decide to follow someone's advice, it is also a choice you are making. This means you are free and always free. Internal freedom. You are free. His concept of authentic and inauthentic living we will do when we will do Sartre. It again is all about internal freedom. So now, if you want to wear, if a boy want to wear pink t-shirt and with a whatever, what do you say, with a red bow tie to the class, what is the problem? That's speech. So क्या problem है? Now that boy comes and everybody starts talking. अरे इसने तो pink color की t-shirt पहन ली, pink. He is a gay, he's this and that. People start talking. And that boy becomes conscious. And next day, even though his favorite color and favorite t-shirt is pink, he will come in a black, boring shirt. He'll not wear it. What has hampered? His freedom. Objectification. He has become object to the others' view. He is actually acting just like what others want to see. Hindrance of freedom. Plus, external freedom is also there. External freedom means, ये तो सब internal का part हो गया. In external का part, whatever that person is thinking, is he or she able to do it according to the external environment? Now that person wants to, apply for certain post, but eligibility criteria doesn't match. Or the person wants to do something, economic hindrance, social hindrance. A girl from a rural background, traditional family, she wants to be a pilot. Now, what is the problem? All the hindrances, economic, social, political, jitne bhi hindrances dekho, all the hindrances, it inhibits her liberty. So this means if we want to be totally free, there must be internal freedom as well as external conditions to support it. Only then we will be free in true sense. Both the freedoms are required. Supposedly all the conditions are there. All the conditions. ऐसे बहुत सारे officers के भी बच्चे होते हैं, है ना? So supposedly there is an officer and their child is there. Huh? Whatever. So now this child, the parent asks, do you want to prepare? No. What do you want to do? Ash. मतलब it's like every condition is externally there. Every condition. They are eligible, they have support, financial, family, this, that, all the things are there. But what is not there? Internally, they don't want, well, internal, it's not exactly the question, example fit in the concept of freedom, but there are a lot of other areas where this can be. Example, let us put it more in context. A person, a woman feels that she cannot do something. Sometimes the family is supportive, economics is there, whatever. But they are not internally free. They do not exercise that external freedom. Therefore, to exercise external freedom, you also need internal freedom. Okay? So freedom also has two aspects, individually also. And only then you are able to get free in true sense. And freedom is again different for different people. For some people, it is economic freedom. बस एक बार पैसा कमा लें. Freedom. For some, social freedom. They are not too much attracted by money. They are more attracted by respect. पैसा चाहे दो ना दो, इज्जत पूरी चाहिए. Some other people, freedom means मुझे कोई रोके टोके नहीं. Whatever I want to do, I must be allowed to do. Similarly, there are other people, saints. For them, freedom is spiritual freedom. So freedom again is different for different people. ठीक है? आज हमने freedom का concept समझ लिया. कल हम लोग बस उनके जो 3-4 thinkers है, उसकी छोटी-छोटी बातें समझेंगे. Thinkers क्योंकि आपको सिर्फ डालने हैं नाम के लिए, है ना? उनको हम देखेंगे and then we will start with justice. ये जो नोट्स मिल गए ना, नोट्स मिल गए नहीं मिले? अरे बुक है तुम्हारे पास? Read that book. Fine. Whatever you can read, read. More you read, it's better. And more you think, much better. And you think and write, much better. Okay, bye.